Hi there, this is Heather. My aim with this video and the matching blog post was to create some really quick and simple, easy cards just out of one set of designer series paper and one stamp set with matching ink colours. So I have used a new designer series paper which is called, wait for it, How Sweet This Is. Sweet It Is, sorry. I'm just going to move these guys out of the way. And I want to show you the papers. So I've got obviously 6 sheets here. There is 12 in the pack, but you get 2 of each. So I thought how nice it would be if you just use this paper and cut out the images from it. So you've got that sheet, and on the opposite side it's this one, which is a really nice background sheet. And that one has some really cool, again, images just to cut out, and a very busy background. Not terribly keen on that one, so I'm quite glad that there's all the images on the front of it to cut out. This one, again, nice and easy to cut out the image. Quite a nice pink on the background of that, actually. It's always disappointing when they have really good images on the front of it and then a nice background too. So that one's quite a nice one, and just, again, it's a bit busy for me, but that's okay. This one I really like, and oops, wrong way up. There we go, that side, and then we've got the purple, and I quite like this. Sort of reminds me of mints and things. I like mint. So that's the designer series paper that I chose to use for this. Now it does have a matching stamp set with it, which I'm not terribly keen on. So what I've done is I've paired it up with this one because I really liked this one, and this one comes with this really cool set of dies, which I will be making a whole heap of different cards with, but I'll give you a quick sneak peek of one that I did. So that one there, and I just love the fact that you can make it stand up on top of your card like that. Alright, so, but we're not using those today, so sorry. However, the other thing I wanted to do was not use too many different colours. So I've chosen colours that go with the papers. So when you get a pack of papers, on the back of it, it actually tells you what the name of the paper is, and it tells you what colours go with it. So in this case, we've got Gorgeous Grape, Melon Mambo, Granny Apple Green, and the Coastal Cabana. So I'm just going to pop those guys to one side, and what else was I going to tell you before I get to it? So obviously these guys, when it comes out on the 3rd of January, you can get them as a bundle. Yay, go bundles! Like 10% off things, that's really cool. So to go back to, oh, marvellous, I've lost all my white cardstock. Fabulous. I'll just grab out a new piece, because I wanted to show you how I cut my cardstock. So, enter the trimmer. Now, I'm sure that most of you already know this, but if you take a piece of A4 cardstock, because I'm an A4 girl, so everything I do tends to be an A4 except for the designer series papers, which are inevitably 12 by 12 or 6 by 6. So if you take your A4 sheet and you cut it at 14.8, then it will give you exactly half. She says. So then, in order to create your card, you want to pop that down to there, and you take it to the 10.5 mark, and it will give you your little thingo, you know what I mean, score line, that's the word I'm after, and then you've got your card made out of your half sheet of A4. But I don't particularly like wastage, and you'll notice with these cards that they all have a little sheet of white on the front of them, which kind of works really nicely in the middle of the card, I think. So I'm going to show you how to make that. So your sheet of A5, so you've cut your sheet of A4 in half. With this one, you now want a sheet of A5, so you cut it at your 10.5. So rather than scoring at the 10.5 to make a card, you're now cutting it at 10.5. And then if you pop them together again, or cut them individually, whoops, pick that up, take it to 7.4, that will give you exactly half of 14.8. And then you have a nice little piece which, as I say, kind of is a good sort of size for the middle of your card like that. So that's what I like to use, and it doesn't give me any wastage, which I really like. So I will go through these with you. So this is how I've created each one. Alright, so re-enter the cardstock. Dun dun dun. So remember, this is how sweet it is to be loved by you. Anyway, yes, good. Got that bit over. So this particular one, I've taken my little white piece of card. So what I've done with each one is I've decorated up my white piece of card. Then I've taken a piece of this, I've cut it at the 6 inch mark, and then 4 inches. So you end up with a piece that is slightly bigger than your card. What I've then done is I've cut a centimetre off the end, because you know I'm awkward like that, and I work in centimetres and inches. So this particular little insert piece, what I've done is I've decorated it up with this one to begin with. So I've stamped it all over with that and the Coastal Cabana stamp ink. Ta-da! Then I have taken this sheet and I've cut out one of those, 2 of those, and a few of the little beans. What are they called? Jelly beans, that's the word. Thank you very much, whoever put that into my thoughts. So that's pretty much it. I've then stuck those down. I've popped on, actually I put on the Time for Spectacular Celebration first before sticking those down to make sure that I had the space for them, and then sponged around the edge. So that's the first card. Where's the... I'll show you this one second actually. So that one uses a couple of these, so you can see those 2 there. Then I've used one of the strips that I've cut off. I've attached that on, so that's my 1 centimetre strip that came off the 4 inches, and it kind of fits quite nicely onto there. And then I've used another one of the strips that came off on the background as well, just to give it a bit more variation. So that's that one, and obviously just stamped "It's All About You" down the bottom. So the next one again goes back to this one. So there's a few that are sort of sticking off the edge, as it were. So I've cut out that one, and that one, and used those on this card with obviously one of these guys. And I have to admit, I stamped and then I stuck, so that again I could make sure it was going to fit. And sponged around the edge. Got my 4x6 piece, cut off a centimetre and stuck that down. Then I'm really hoping this recording is still going. This one here just uses the next one along, so I've got that one gone with "For Your Birthday, It's All About You." Obviously I've used a couple of dimensionals on this one just to stick it up, make it give a bit more interesting. And then the background of this one here, 4x6 with a centimetre off the top. Oh, this one's upside down now. So this one was a little different. So again, I have used the same thing again. So I've cut one of these, one of those, but I've got this little one in the corner that I thought, I wanted to do something with it, and I played around a bit, but ended up just cutting out that little section there from it and just overlaid it to give it a little bit more interest, really. But what I've done with the background of this is, rather than cutting off my 1 centimetre, I've folded over a 1/2 centimetre on each end. Just give it something a bit different. And this one here, it's got the a little piece that's been cut off one of the others. It's got my background. Then we've got the gumballs. Yay, go gumballs! And some of the other bits from this. And really, that was it. So how simple are those cards to make? I just thought, you know, it's easy. You could probably even use a stamp set that you've already got and just buy the papers, so it's a fairly cost-effective way of doing things. I'll just pop those back onto there so you can see them again. So if you would rather actually read about it, then I've also done this, or I am going to be doing this as a blog post. So go on over to Heather McCarthy. Nope, the other way around, McCarthyHeather.blogspot.com. And if you would like to order some of the papers or the stamp sets or anything, then if you go to my blog, then there's a link there to my Stampin' Up shop. And just remember that until the 31st of March, for every $90 you spend, you actually get to pick a free celebration item. So yay, something free, and they're fabulous. So potentially you could choose, seeing as we've got cupcakes and things, you could choose this stamp set here, which is Hello Cupcake, and you could use some of these sayings in these cards as well. Or you could stamp your own cupcake and things. So there's all sorts of different things. If you pop on over to my website, you'll see them. So I hope this has inspired you to create, and thanks for staying with me. Bye.